are at the Alvina Krause Theater in downtown Bloomsburg, home of the Bloomsburg Theatre Ensemble. It's a building that used to be a movie theater, originally built in 1938. Bloomsburg Theatre Ensemble, with a lot of local help, purchased the building in 1980, 81. We renovated it, and this is where we perform our plays. This is the ensemble. We are a very unusual theater company in that the resident ensemble of theater artists are the artistic direction of the theater company. We don't have one single artistic director. We are all the artistic direction of the company. And that means that we choose our plays, we choose our programming, we choose our fellow members. And becoming a member is a real honor because it means you're working full-time with a highly respected theater company. We had several of our ensemble members started out as interns. The portrait of Alvina Krause. She's the woman for whom we have named our theater. She was a very famous acting teacher at Northwestern University outside of Chicago. When she retired to Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, but she wasn't ready to stop teaching. And because some of us had gone to Northwestern, we heard that she was interested in taking private students in her home here in Bloomsburg. So in the summer of 1976, a group of us came out here to study with her, to study acting in particular. And in 1978, we formed the theater company. And we've been here ever since. All of these bricks represent people who gave money toward our building campaign, and the bricks were made by local ceramic artists. This is the Louise Matrani Auditorium. The Matranis were early and incredibly generous supporters of our theater. A lucky circumstance. One of our early ensemble members, Robin Helsner, has gone on to become a world-famous Jewish folk singer. She performs all over the world. While she was here in Bloomsburg, she would visit Louise every week. So when we bought the building, it was really run down. It had been built in 1938. It was a movie theater that by the time we bought it, it was kind of falling apart. Jerry Stropnicki, a member of the ensemble, worked with the architects in figuring out how to transform a 600-seat movie theater into a 350-seat theater for plays. We made the rake here for the audience so that every seat is a good seat. We did keep the lights from the original movie theater. A wonderful theater to perform in. Every seat is a good seat. When you are down on the stage, you feel like you can touch everybody in the audience. Your voice reaches all the way up to the top row. I love this theater. We are on the stage. It is called the Eyerly stage. Again, the Eyerlys, who own the newspaper in town, have been very supportive of our theater. So we named the stage after them. It's a proscenium stage, which means that there's a proscenium arch. We do a lot of plays that take place behind the proscenium, which presents a sort of picture frame for the plays. But also we like to break out of the proscenium a lot and perform in the aisles, and sometimes we do plays where we bring the audience on stage with us. Smaller plays that require a more intimate relationship between audience and performer. On the stage right now, we have a set for a play that is waiting to be performed. Once the shutdown is lifted, once the coronavirus cloud has lifted, once we are allowed to bring folks back into the theater, we will be presenting a newish play called Airness. Stage now. This is the rest of the set for Airness. We're not going to move it into storage because our hope is that we'll be able to perform it. This is a loading dock door. It opens up and we can load things in and out from the alley that's behind the theater. This is my personal sacred space. It is in the stage left hallway. when we did the Scottish play, which the name of that play I cannot say because I am sitting in the theater, and you can look up why this particular play by Shakespeare about a king cannot be said in the theater. There are all kinds of stories about that it's bad luck. Anyway, I was playing the king's wife. Great part, wonderful part. She too goes crazy. I've played a lot of crazy women, and she has a famous scene in the play where she is sleepwalking. Right after the sleepwalking scene, I had to come here to this spot because the backstage was completely open to the audience because I had a very quick change. Due to budgetary restrictions and also to artistic concept, not only did I play the lady, the king's wife, but I also played young Seward, who was a young man who partakes in the final battle of the play and actually ends up being killed. So I had to come and dash down here right after the sleepwalking scene, get out of my sleepwalking stuff, get into my boots, and strap on my broadsword and put my helmet on and run back up to the stage to participate in the slow advance of Birnam Wood on the king. He had been promised by the witches that he would remain king as long as Birnam Wood does not march onto the castle, and sure enough, Birnam Wood marches onto the castle because the opposing army, young Seward was part of the opposing army, carried tree branches in front of them in order to disguise their advance. So Tom Byrne was playing the king. He was far down stage right. Our little forest, our little Birnam Wood was way, 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 way up stage left, and very slowly with our tree branches, we moved on him as he was delivering one of the most beautiful and heartbreaking speeches in Shakespeare. The king has just heard that his wife has committed suicide, and he says there would have been time for such. She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such something. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. And I, as young Seward, with my tree branch, was able to hear this gorgeous speech about the death of my other character. So this is a sacred spot for me. So this is the green room. In theater, the place where the actors wait before they go on stage is called the green room. On this same plot of land, there used to be something called the Bloomsburg Opera House. But I think the Bloomsburg Opera House was torn down in order to put up the Capitol Movie Theater. But they would bring in shows that toured all over the United States. Musical acts, dance acts, and little plays. So we found some of these old programs. This is the dressing room. This is the women's dressing room. The men's is across the green room. Sometimes we mix it up, but most often it's just women and girls in this dressing room. Love this dressing room. Nice mirrors, beautiful lights. We have toilets and sinks and a shower, which actually came in very, very helpful for me when we did the Bacchae, because for that play, I was absolutely covered in fake blood and mud and sticks and grime. So after the show, I always needed a shower. So this is our theater. We are waiting for it to be able to be opened again and welcome you to come see our shows.